The plot to assassinate Mahatma Gandhi for his tolerance of Muslims was chaotic, but it had to its advantage a great place of concealment, the teeming masses of Indians that Gandhi exposed himself to without thought. In a shocking oversight, the police had failed to tell Gandhi of the arrest and confession of one of the plotters in a previously failed attempt to kill him. The human instrument of murder was to be 36-year-old Nathuram Godse. The date would be January 30th, 1948.
Godse positioned himself inside the compound of Gandhi, and at the appointed hour of prayer, Gandhi left his living quarters, the Birla House, and headed down a path towards the prayer house. He gets partway down this pathway, and Godse steps out in front of him. And he says, "You're late for prayers." And Gandhi says, "Yes, I am late."
Godse drew a small revolver from his shirt and fired 3 times at point-blank range at Gandhi as he clung to his 2 nieces. 2 bullets tore into the Mahatma's belly and 1 into his chest. Showing no apparent surprise or pain, he peacefully folded his hands in prayer and murmured, "I, Ram, Ram." Then he fell slowly backwards to the ground.
He uttered the words, "I, Ram, Ram," which were a greeting to Ram, the Lord that dwelled within and without. And it was a breaking of the cycle of birth and death and rebirth and re-death, a reuniting of Gandhi with the infinite.
Gandhi was the last child of his father and his father's 4th wife. During his youth, Mahatma Gandhi was shy, soft-spoken, and only a mediocre student at school. Although generally an obedient child, at age 13, Gandhi married Kasturi in an arranged marriage. Kasturi had Gandhi's 4 sons and supported Gandhi's endeavors until her death in 1944. He later went to school to become a lawyer, and that was successful. Gandhi spent the next 20 years working to better Indians' rights in South Africa. During the first 3 years, Gandhi learned more about Indian grievances. He studied law, wrote letters to officials, and organized petitions. On May 22, 1894, Gandhi established the Native Indian Congress. Gandhi became well known for his activism, and his acts were even covered by newspapers in England and India. In a few short years, Gandhi had become a leader of the Indian community in South Africa.
What Gandhi stood for. He stood for the freedom of the Indians as well as himself and wanted them to have the same rights as the British. Gandhi rose from a small-time lawyer to India's spiritual leader through his philosophy of nonviolent but direct action protests. He was the pioneer of Satyagraha, the resistance of tyranny through mass civil disobedience, firmly founded upon ahimsa or total nonviolence, which led India to independence and inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. He believed in for freedom and peace.
Nathuram Godse killed Gandhi because he was a member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS, National Volunteers Organization. That was and is a hardline Hindu nationalist group that believes India only belongs to Hindus, and they felt that Gandhi was getting in their way to take over India. So Nathuram shot Gandhi while he was in prayer 6 times in the back. Nathuram was then caught and later hung, although Gandhi's family insisted that Gandhi would not want the man to be harmed.